Hello, good day, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's another day, and we're exploring another scholarship. If you're watching for the first time, you're highly welcome. But if you've been around for long, I want to hope that you've been taking action. And just in case there are scholarship opportunities that you have been interested in, but you don't meet the requirement at the moment, I hope that you are putting your documents together against this year and against next year. But at the meantime, I want to explore scholarships that are already open in this year. And so if you're a new viewer, ensure you subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, then do check out this video and let me know where you're watching from so that I can shoot other videos that aligns with your interests and passion. Without further ado, let's get started. Today we are at the Deakin University in Australia. We're considering higher degree research scholarship opportunities, otherwise known as the RTP, Research Training Program scholarships. And this group of scholarship is available across several universities in Australia, and so you have your opportunity to check out so many schools while we filter for you and share the ones we see on daily basis. That being said, today is at Deakin University. I will be exploring what the scholarship entails and the procedures thereof. So what does it entail first of all? Okay, so applications now open. The RTP scholarships are funded by the Australian government, and that's why it cuts across many universities. Some universities have them in full, others have them as a partnership, and others just the government that's taking care of it. Either way, majority of scholarships in Australia are research-based scholarships. And so, what are the important dates to check that out? What's the benefit of this scholarship? You can see stipend and allowances values. So you have a stipend of about 34,400 plus without tax. It's tax-free payment. You have a relocation allowance that ranges from $500 to $1,500 for a single to family. If you're single, you have about $500, but if you have a family with you, it can go as high as 1,500 Australian dollar, of course. Now, for international students, there is a single cost overseas cost for student health policy and student visa. So you have no reason to move a muscle. Your flight is taken care of, your visa is taken care of, and you have your health covered. For doctoral students, you have 3 to 4 years offset, while for master students it is 2 years stipend and 2 years of tuition fee offset. Here you have 3 years of stipend for PhD holder. In your fourth year, you wouldn't get a stipend, but you will get your tuition fee offset. So what are the eligibility criteria? You can run through it all and check it out. Now, to be eligible, the third line, to be eligible for it, your stipend, a student must not be receiving income from another source to support their general living cost while undertaking their course of study if that income is greater than 75% of the student RTP stipend rate. Income related to the student course. So you have all of that, and you can read it on your own. You have their selection procedures, of course, and you can check that out, which is not difficult to comprehend. And so that being said, we want to go and check out relevant dates. So what are the key dates for the research scholarship application? So we have them in, you can see candidature only application dates. There are two things to note about the RTP scholarship in relationship with the Deakin University is that there's an expression of candidature, more like an application for candidature, which is not the same as the application for the scholarship. And I would read the clause here. the statement here for you. You will need to complete an expression of interest form prior to submitting a full application via the online degrees. And without the expression of interest, it's as good as saying you're not applying or your application will not be considered. It is on this basis I will not be leaving the link to this video or this page online, because there are so many links to have and it varies by faculties. It varies by faculty, which I will show you and give you an illustration of what it looks like. So if I have to do that, I have to be copying so many links. So you just go online on Google and search RTP Daking or Daking RTP or HDRP Daking, whichever keyword you use, you should be finding it easy after the first display, which may either be a sponsorship, a sponsored ad, or whatever. The next two or the third one you will see there, and once you open it, you see interfaces like mine, then you know you are right on track. So EOI means expression of interest. So when you complete the expression of interest form, then after that you may be invited, you'll be considered, and when you're considered, you're getting a response. You take it off from there and reach out to for other purposes. You might be summoned for an interview, whichever comes first, an interview, or go ahead and put in an application. Just do as you find or as you're directed in the mail, in subsequent mails. Now, so expression of interest varies. Faculty of Arts and Education, the expression of interest deadline is all year round. There's no deadlines. You can submit expression of interest all year round. You get a summon as the days goes by, or you get to submit your application within the window, of course. Now, Faculty of Business, you can see that they have their trimester of 1st March or trimester 2, which is in July each year. That's the duration. Faculty of Science and Engineering, you can submit an expression of interest all year round. Institute of Frontier Materials as well. The Faculty of Health, all applicants must discuss their research interest or proposed program with an academic staff member. And so you cannot submit an expression of interest here without discussing first. So what you do is not to submit like other ones have their forms. What you have to do is to find a research supervisor first in health. And so that's why the variation is a key thing for you to note with each faculty. But whichever way it goes, once you get that, you know you are set on track for your application. So I'll be considering the various faculties with you, but I'll open one of the document to show you what it looks like and what you should expect. So we are here to see the research applications if you're applying for the expression of interest. Now, the application process for Daking differs depending on which faculty or institute you wish to study. Now, applicants applying in the following areas must submit this before commencing the application process. So once you submit this, then you can follow up with the application process also. That's why I say depending on faculty where you have to find a supervisor, of course you have to wait for them to get back to you before you can put in an application. But faculties like arts and business law and business and law, of course, you don't have to wait for them. Just submit your expression of interest and be sure to be sincere in your expression of interest. Submit all that you have, all that you think can help you ace the application, and then submit it. It will be considered before your application. So if you if you are considered scholarship worthy, your application will be reviewed. If you are not considered scholarship worthy with expression of interest, your application will not be reviewed, and it is not a formal application. Your expression of interest is not in any way formal application kind of. So you would have to be sincere enough. It's like a key pass to the gate. An entrance into the gate does not mean entering into the house. It's just an access into. So if you're able to pass through with your expression of interest and you enter the house, there is possibility that you will reach the room, and that's where you'll be heading to. So I'll take you to through this, and you can see it. Applicants applying for the following areas are required to nominate a potential supervisor and must have approval from their potential supervisor before making a formal application via the applicant portal. and that's why it differs. So this Faculty of Health, Institute of Frontier Materials, Research for Educational Impact, these ones must get supervisors first. And so how do? They submit expression of interest. They don't submit, they don't submit expression of interest. They first find supervisors, discuss their research interests and areas with the potential supervisors. Most likely, the supervisors will be the one who will ask them to submit an expression of interest or just a research proposal. If you're asked to submit an expression of interest, they may give you a format, or they may just tell you, express yourself, submit an expression of interest. You can always write an expression of interest on your own. If you follow the template I'm going to show you later, you don't need to download that template and customize it to yourself. You just need to gather the informations that you will need to put in there. Take for instance, you go for one of the templates I will show you, fill it out with your own personal information that suits your faculty, then copy those informations out and see how you make it into a statement or an expression, like you telling your story and all of that, and then you synergize everything into a document, and you can submit that. It will be as standard as you having a format for yourself. And if they provide you a format, then good and fine, fill that and you're good to go. And once they consent to giving you attention as their supervisee, they will give you a go ahead to put in your application, and from there on you can take it. Now, for applicants applying in the following areas and those who have been invited to submit a formal application, they should follow the how to apply for a research degree steps below. So in this way, the Institute of Intelligence, System Research and Innovation and Applied Artificial Intelligence, you just go ahead straight to how to apply below. And where is the how to apply? This is it. You just click on it and you apply in 7 steps. You find the supervisors, you put in the application, apply online, and you are good to go. So there are questions, frequently asked questions. You can check that out. So let's go quickly so that this video can be concise to format one of the templates, and I'll show you around it. Okay, so here is the Faculty of Arts and Education Art Degree Research Expression for 2024. And you can see the opening date is 22nd of January 2024. So if you're watching this video, you should be maybe 3 days away from when this opened. The deadline is for both domestic and international students. There's no and it's a round 1. I'll show you the deadline of these scholarships deadlines after this. Now you can see entry requirement. You have a checklist. These are the things you must satisfy. So whenever you feel it, you just take it up and you can go ahead, fill it up to the end. You see, an invitation to apply will be required from the faculty to progress through the formal application stage. Now, I keep emphasizing, without this expression of interest and invite, your application will be as good as not getting any attention. And so, what are the details you need to fill? You need to fill your personal details from family name, then the application type, candidature and scholarship, of course. International candidates, candidature and scholarship, full-time and on campus, exception at discretion of the university and by approval. And types of scholarship, you copy it in the Decade University Postgraduate degree, and you just fill up the information there, because you shouldn't have another scholarship if you don't want to be disqualified on first attempt. Now, if you are unsuccessful for a scholarship, do you wish to be considered for candidature only? If you know you can finance it, fine. If you cannot finance it, then you just leave it and say no. So they wouldn't even give a second thought if you don't meet up or if the competition is too high for your course and you're not shortlisted. So you go ahead to check out the school. You select your school. Which of the schools are you going for? What is the nature of your program? Full-time, part-time, on campus, off campus. Now, these are the informations. Now, list of staff you've identified or been in contact with as prospective supervisors. So you see, you would have been invited, and somebody must be interested in you to invite you. So you list at least 2, or at max 2. You can have 1. If it's one person that shows interest, he's going to get another person, because a minimum of 2 persons have to be a supervisor. Indicate your research group which best aligns with you, which of the research groups, and provide links to titles and all of that. Fill all this information. The English requirement, which is a key thing that bothers every international student. You have you have to provide an English proof, and this is in two parts. There's an A part and there's a B part. One of the A part has either IELTS, TOEFL, internet-based TOEFL, or Pearson test English results. If you have any of these, just tick yes. Meeting, provided you meet the minimum requirement. If you don't have any of these, you can check out the exemption possibility, which is the second one. Of course, either of IELTS, TOEFL, and a Pearson test must not have exceeded 2 years from the date you obtain the result. So those who obtain any of these three in 2021 are not fit for the scholarships. Those who obtained any of these three in 2022 are lucky to stay for within the borders, provided it is not going to expire before the resumption of studies somewhere around September, October 2024. Else, it is also not valid anymore. So you have reasons for exemption. One, English is your first language in your country. Then you can tick that box. And of course, English happens to be the official language in quite a number of West African countries. We have some exceptions, though French, but English happens to be one of the official languages. In my own country, English is the official language, is the language communicated by the government and everybody and taught. So you have that. If you study at an institution within Australia or specified English-speaking country, completed no more than 2 years prior to enrollment at Deakin, fine. So if you study in any university outside of Australia and you graduated somewhere around October 2022, you're fit to check this option. But if it is a graduation in 2021, then it doesn't apply to you. So either way, you have to check out this and then you're good to go. Then you fill in your academic requirements and the gradings, what have you. And your latest qualification must not be more than 5 years old. So if you're a graduate in the last 6 years, you shouldn't be applying for this. At least your master's should not be older than that. Your BSc too, same thing applies. Or your degree should not be older 5 years away. Your thesis and dissertation, the school, and just fill up the informations. They are all there for you. They write a short statement about your thesis and dissertation and the length of time you spent studying the research project, the required length, how it was examined, internally supervised by who, externally supervised or overseen by what committee, and then additional details. And if you have the details online, if you've published that same research, you can just put the link there so that you don't have to write too much. Then what publications do you have? Where are your publications? What is the name of the publication? The website where it is published? What is the ranking of it? Either Google Scholar of any of those academic metrics measuring tools. So your creative arts requirements. Then your statement of evidence. What exactly do you have to let them know? What exactly can you share with them? Are you currently enrolled in a research degree, or have you partially completed any? If your qualifications are more than 5 years old, you must demonstrate that you are sufficiently prepared for a higher degree research candidature. Additionally, equivalence evidence must include workplace experience, verified reports, reviews, conference presentations, publications, and what have you. So you have to provide proofs that in the last 5 years, of course, you've not been within the academic setting. However, these and these and these you have done to add value to yourself, to qualify you for a higher degree, such that you will not be a liability and you will not waste resources. Then you need 2 academic referees, a thesis proposal, and then you share the following information under your proposal title, and you can see that there's a quick disclaimer that this is not yet a formal application. However, if you're able to make quality expression of interest, you have at your advantage a better way to put in an application that will be winning. If you're able to get this and win the attention of potential supervisors, you are 50% in for a scholarship award. And so I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know where you're watching this video from and what challenges you probably might be having and what video you would love me to shoot next. and I'll see to it that I answer every question, reply every comment, or react to every comment, or and ensure that I help to see that you have a testimony at the end of the day. Remember, quitting is never an option. Quitting is not in the option at all. This year we go all out and we attain a result. Until I see you in another video. Tada! Oh, that reminds me, dates. Yeah, a beautiful pardon. So key dates, and I'd like to explore that with you. They differ by faculties. So there's a faculty of arts. The opening date of expression of interest is 22nd January 2024, and then you have the closing date for the expression of interest 4th March 2024. While closing date for application is 29th March. So in between you getting a response from 22nd January to 4th March, be putting up together your whatever document. I think there's a video on this channel that tells you things you need for a scholarship. Things you need for a scholarship. So you have them. So just get them together and wait for an invite. Then there's a round one, there's a round two. The round two is going to come up sometimes in April. And so if you put up an application in March and realize that okay, you did not meet up certain things, but you just want to submit, you still have April window, and I believe you can still apply again. So what about the Faculty of Business and Law? Let's check out their own. Of course, you can see that theirs is 1st March and July. Faculty of Health, Domestic and International Students available to commence in 2024. And closing date is 29th March. It's round one and round two. Their round two is coming up. Available commence in 2025. Why this to be advised in April 2024? I suppose it should be a mistake. 2025. I suppose it should be a mistake. But their concern first is that you should ensure getting and discussing your research interest and proposed program with an academic staff member first. So, what of Faculty of Science and Engineering? You have the first. They're yet to update this, I guess. So you can check the Institute of Intelligence. You can see 1st February is the opening date, while October 31st is the closing date. So with that, we'll come to the end of this video. You can click the apply now after you have been invited, and we'll be safe. So until I see you in subsequent videos, let me know how it is going from your own end. Ta-da!